Good evening. My name is Stout, graduating class of 2015. The Parthenon, which is what I built, the Parthenon took about 14 years to complete. Not mine. Mine took about a little over 45 hours. It was a temple in Greece built from the years 447 to 432. It was dedicated in the year 438, but work on the pediments wasn't complete until the year 432. The two main architects of the Parthenon were two Greek men named Iktinos and Callicrates. Hope I'm pronouncing this right. And it was built under Pericles' direction. The Parthenon is built in the Doric order with 8 columns going on the width and 17 going on the sides, whereas my model is 6 columns by 11. Now the Doric order is one of the 6 classical orders of architecture, and Doric in particular is simple and plain. It is often characterized by a sturdy fluted column and a square abacus, which is a square base that sits at the bottom, which was thick and rested on a rounded molding. It was used by the Greeks as a temple to Athena in antiquity. And another way that this relates to antiquity is the Doric and Ionic order are both from one of Dr. Green's lectures on architecture. I've learned a lot of new things about architecture through doing this project, specifically about the classical orders of architecture. I also ran into a lot of math, which I'm not a big fan of, but I had to do a lot of converting from a tiny picture that I had, and yeah, that was not fun. And I've always loved building with my hands, and from a young age, like when I was younger, I would build with Legos all the time. And I also really love architecture, and I also find myself fascinated with Greek myth and the Greek gods. But I definitely had struggles. With the columns, after I made all the outer columns, I realized that they're a little too big, so I had to kind of overhang them off the edge a little bit just so it kind of made up for the size difference. And then with the inner columns, there's this layer that separates 2 sets of columns that go up and down on the inside, and I was going to have to slide something over the columns and slide it down so it rested in the middle instead of having to cut the columns instead. And so I realized that if I did that, I would have to push the hot glue that I used to glue bricks together over one of the columns in a certain place, and that didn't work because it snapped when I tried that. And I also had trouble drawing the blueprints that I made, which took me about 10 hours just to finish. And yeah, like I said, it was math. I really think this project helped me with my attention span because it's never been that long. And it kind of helped me to work on that, just forced me to sit and concentrate when I was drawing blueprints. And like I said, I've always enjoyed to build things, and I really enjoy learning about architecture. And when you look at the Parthenon, with the naked eye, you see something beautiful. However, if you look at the Elgin marbles, which were taken from the Parthenon and put in the British Museum by Lord Elgin, you see something horrible. What they depict the ugliness of sin in our fallen world. And architecture can still be like that today. We can see the horizontal worldview in the Parthenon. In a sense, you can see how it makes us feel insignificant because of the size. And what we need to do is we need to see the horizontal worldview, understand it, and portray the covenantal